Chad Hudson. I work for NBC Sports out of Stamford, Connecticut. I primarily work on our motorsports properties, NASCAR and IndyCar, but I'm here representing everything NBC Sports today. There's a real weekend show, but before we show that, I just thought I'd just talk about a few design trends that I've seen out in the zeitgeist the last year. I feel kind of awkward, like being an insert guy for so long and being quiet on this subject is crazy to me. But I mean, you guys, you're putting it very well. Like it's definitely a difficult thing to have, like that personality and that I don't know, that systematic approach to everything. So yeah, it's really awesome. But things that I've noticed over the last year would be like that I find interesting are like cell animation. That finding its way into wraparound packaging. I think, the college basketball for ESPN that you guys did like 18 months ago, 2 years ago. Yeah. That was the first place I really saw it. It was like super intriguing, and it's not actually in our reel, but we just did a package last year or over the summer with Telemundo for Copa America soccer, and the whole thing was, a good bit of it was that cell animated motion, which is like really cool. And I saw over the weekend watching Fox, the Wilder Fury fight. They had a lot of footage, and every punch that was thrown, there's these blasts of like quick cell animated bits, which I think are super cool, and they really work across the board. Even not just for wraparound, but when you get into social media, I'm a huge Braves fan, and their social media platform, they really played into that in a really cool way. So that's something I thought was kind of badass, that I've seen over the last year. Aside from that, the elephant in the room is Unreal. We'll get into that later. I won't even discuss, but that is the future. But aside from that, there's also, just the rise of better 3D, better render engines. The last 18 months, we've really kind of dug our heels at NBC and into Redshift, and just seeing the texture and the lighting, just improved so much more. And then seeing what Monday Night Football did with their package is just incredible. There's also Octane and Arnold that are out there too. That stuff is like so gorgeous. But, one thing I've noticed, like as cool as that stuff is, like what I love, and I worked with Jordan and Joss a little bit over the years. I was at Turner for 10 years before I came to NBC. And one thing I admire that they did, or that we did when I was there, was we shot plates. And that's something I don't think people do enough. Everything's done in the box. So, I hope we don't totally get away from that. That's why I thought it was so cool to see, All-Star Weekend and seeing a lot of plates, and then flat 2D, logo animation on top of that. I thought that was really fresh and just kind of cool to see. But I'll shut up and show we can show the rip that kind of encompasses like all the work that NBC Sports has done the last 18 months or so. So you can see, like, the use of Redshift and a lot of that stuff, and Houdini as well with the Premier League stuff, which is actually kind of a collaboration that we had with Sky. But I mean, it's incredible the way that all that stuff looks. But the cautionary tale to me is not to forget about actually going out and shooting plates and mixing that kind of stuff in.
I thought that was a great point. Yeah, don't forget the real world is around you, and getting things in camera, just takes your graphics package that much further forward. One interesting thing is, again, on the top of everyone's mind is Unreal, and where are we going with it, and how are we applying it, and what's it going to do for us?
Yeah, we're using it. We're experimenting with it right now for Tokyo.
Right.
I don't want to divulge too much about that, but that's going to be a huge part of like what we're going to be doing this summer.
But the interesting thing was, sort of quietly coming up side by side, like you said, is Redshift and Arnold and Octane and all these things that, I think a lot of animators and designers have been sort of waiting for this day, right? To have real-time 3D in the box just to work in pre-produced environments. And
Since 1983.
yeah, exactly. And the strength that gives you in your what you can have as a concept, and everything's kind of limitless now.
Yeah.
That it's
Well, not quite now, but
it's getting there. But
Yeah.
I mean, we're really close. It's
Yeah,
it's,
we're
it's
really
really
close.
strong. So,
Yeah, we don't know what we don't know about that stuff yet. Joss and I were talking before
Right.
the panel started, and we've got like a little brain trust of people. We have like a little room where they go and they're just playing with it, and just it's kind of like that Facebook model, like move fast and break stuff, and
Yeah.
they're doing that. It's like we don't know. Like there's a lot of back end stuff we don't really understand, and luckily we have some people that are way smarter than me that are kind
Yeah.
of like tackling that stuff as well. But every day it seems like we come into a new problem with that, but we're kind of figuring out as we go.
right, which also speaks to that the emergence of the designer, the artist that needs a really strong tech mind also, right? That has to.
yeah.
You can't just go in there. You're not just
Engineering
painting
too,
pictures, you
you
gotta-
need good machines,
Yeah.
you need good engineering, and like everybody has to come together to make.
Yeah,
this
there's a
stuff
lot of
work,
great things in the world right now that are driving us in every
Yep.
every facet.